Does this mean a guest? It looks like it.
Uh-oh. There's Chael. Chael Sonnen. Holy fuck.
Come on in.
He's coming right in. Chael Sonnen fighting John Jones this weekend. UFC 159.
Come on in, sure.
Chael looks in shape.
Take a seat.
Hey,
How
Chael.
you been, man?
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, brother.
You look ready to fight. Jesus Christ.
I know the deal now. I know when I walk in here, we're live.
Yeah,
exactly.
I thought we were just a couple of guys visiting. What is this? Jimmy Hart's in here? You got a megaphone?
The megaphone.
What are you guys doing in that? Campaigning amongst each other?
It's
Ladies and gentlemen.
Trust me, he does some
When you
really
have the top radio show in America like you gentlemen do, I don't think you need a megaphone. You just talk into this and everybody
He
hears
does
you.
wonderful things with the megaphone. You'd be very surprised.
Well,
It might seem hack,
for
but
your
not when
airline
Ant's
pilot.
using it.
Two consenting New Yorkers do is your guys' business.
Ladies and gentlemen, like, thank you for flying.
See?
And, and then a phone call.
Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, I'm one of your stupid listeners. I have nothing to the show.
You know, so it comes in handy.
It does.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you ready?
You guys finally done something for me for a
We're
change.
trying.
I know,
We're
right?
trying.
Get a little water. Look at them guns.
Feel good about that.
You ready for Saturday or what,
I stuck
Chael?
that on
I'm
for
ready to
Jimmy's
go.
for a second.
Absolutely.
So you
Been
got-
ready for a while.
Now, last time you were in here, you and John Jones were like best of pals.
Yeah, he
Is it
turned
still-
out to be a pretty nice guy.
And you were surprised by that.
Wasn't a lot I can do about that. I don't manufacture conflict. I can't just come out and say he was a jerk if he wasn't.
Right.
Turned out to be a good guy.
And you
what are you
guys-
drinking over there? Grass?
Well, not all of us could look like you, Chael. It's vegetables.
Stop.
We got some beets, we got some carrots,
Oh, God.
we got some orange, and we got some
no wonder it's
spinach.
3/4 full. I wouldn't drink that crap either.
It's not that bad, actually.
What it is, the
It really
lemon
isn't
and the
that
apple
bad.
makes it
Oh,
palatable.
stop.
What, a couple of in-shape guys talking.
Do you
Better not
kale
have
in there?
apple.
I asked you what's in there, then I rudely cut. Did you put kale in there?
Kale is rough, but I do shove it
people
down.
are drinking that
I
now.
drink
Yeah.
the kale, but that's a rough one.
My friend Leah drinks that crap. I tease her all the time. Why are you drinking?
Kale is
Terrible, right?
rough.
You want
It
to
is
eat
rough.
kale? Why would you want to drink
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Now you don't drink anything like that, right?
No, I don't.
So, look, you drink it to stay in shape. Look at he's in such good shape, and he doesn't have to deal with that shit.
You know what I would look like if I didn't fucking drink the vegetable juice?
But good
a lot
for you.
mushier.
Good for you. You know, if you do enjoy it and you got away. Did you
I don't
juice that
enjoy it.
yourself? It looks like. Did you bring that from home or you bought that?
No, we get it. Yeah, they go out and get it for us.
There you go. Well, you don't have to be a prick about it. You try to be a man of the people up here, you know.
No,
They brought it to me after I got out of my limo.
No, we're not like that.
So you don't. Like, I would think that you would drink stuff like this all the time. But what do you mostly eat and drink? Because you're healthier than all of us.
Well, that's very nice of you guys to say. I'm a Dolce diet guy, so I guess now I get to be the snob too. He brings it to me as well. He makes it in the morning.
What is Dolce Diet Guy?
A Dolce diet is one of the, it's one of the biggest diets in the country. He's a guy who wrote a couple of books.
Right.
He's a former fighter.
Yeah.
He's one of Dana White's right-hand guys. And
Can you eat chocolate?
yeah, you can, but in sparingly. But yeah,
Nice.
Sparingly.
Thank you very
Dark
much.
chocolate?
It's a big word.
Little
Yeah,
dark chocolate?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
throw in there?
Hey, you want to know something? Speaking of that, Snickers just came out with a dark chocolate Snickers. Saw it yesterday for the first time.
that's
Haven't
gotta
tried
be
it
That
yet.
sounds pretty goddamn
I
good.
don't
It's
like
gonna be excellent.
I don't like milk chocolate anymore. Ever since I
No?
discovered dark chocolate years ago.
Dark's
yeah.
excellent. It's the way to
It's
go.
the
A lot of
best.
people are still discovering it.
I know. You go to Whole Foods and they got a whole fucking aisle now that has just so many different varieties
Yeah,
of
some
dark
of that's
chocolate.
bitter though. You know, at Whole Foods,
You gotta be careful. You can't go too bitter there, Chael.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You gotta go around 70%.
I agree.
See, I know this shit.
I know dark chocolate as well. That's all my dad ate.
No, the other question I had, are you still getting along with John Jones?
Yeah, you know what?
Oh, that
yeah, I do.
sucks.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm not happy about it, and it doesn't help things when you're going to go fight. But, I mean, it's just the reality. I was with him yesterday. He was a funny guy. Did a little robot dance on ESPN. I got a kick out of it. I mean, it doesn't change it. You got to understand, I'm a wrestler. I grew up wrestling. I would work out with guys every day, and then on Saturday we'd have to slap hands and get it on for the.
So you just turn that
for
shit
the
off,
championship.
obviously, when it's
yeah,
time
it's
to
just
fight.
competition,
Right.
and I'm not gonna by any means hold back.
We are so conditioned that if you're fighting, you
Gotta
hate the guy that
Sure.
you're fighting because if we're fighting, it's because somebody fucked you up. Or
And then after the
something like
fight,
that.
you continue to hate.
It's a sport.
Because you look at what, you know, he did to you.
Sure.
Or you did to him, whatever.
Yeah, it's a competition.
Man,
it's
I get
sport,
it.
so.
I get that. I used to look at it the same way, and I prefer to still.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of dirtbags out there, but every now and then you run into a guy that's not, or that you think, that's a nice enough guy, and that's just what happened with John. But it's not going to change anything. Look, there can only be one champion, and we're going to figure this out the hard way.
You're still going to try to beat his face in when
Do you is it harder to put weight on or take? Like, I know it's easier to gain weight than lose it, but I mean, is it harder to move up in weight and fight a stronger guy than you fought?
I don't really know. I haven't gained any weight. I weighed about 230 when I would cut down to 185. And this was my first time at 205, but I still weigh 230. I got to go down to 205. So I only have to lose 20 pounds less, but I didn't actually gain anything. This morning, I just weighed in before I came here. I'm 217 right now. The weigh-ins are in 2 days. The 205 will be the limit. So
you can get 12 pounds off in 2 days pretty easily?
Yeah, I could get 12 pounds off in just over 2 hours.
Come on.
Yeah, I can lose about 6.5 pounds an hour.
Wait, you got to explain that.
How do you do
Crazy.
Well, there's a lot of tactics. I don't know that I could explain it quickly, but I mean, I've been at this since I was 9 years old, and I'm not
you remove all
the
your...
only guy. Yeah, in fact, that would be a small cut. Being 12 pounds over would be a small cut. My opponent, John's about 225 right now. He'll have to
20 pounds.
Get more off.
Do you remove all your duty?
Do you shit first? Is a good question, actually, before you weigh in. If you can shit before a weigh-in, it's...
And then maybe an enema or something to get rid of all the duty.
That's disgusting.
Sorry. Because I remember in high school, the wrestling guys, they would, put the bags on or whatever, the bag outfits, and fucking just sweat their balls off.
How much of it is water and how much of it is like...
It's
all water that you're losing.
So you're extremely dehydrated when you weigh in.
When I say I could take 12 pounds off in 2 hours, I could put 12 pounds right back on in 2 hours.
Right.
It's just water.
So when you're done with that, because I saw you when you fought your last Silva fight, and I was just in the area, and you were just shoveling in fruit right after the weigh-in, like just with your hand.
Yeah, you told that story.
Fresh fruit.
Yeah, and I hate that. French fry. I want French fries after the weigh-in. I want a Coca-Cola big enough to swim in. And Dolce brought me fruit. He double-crossed me.
They want the healthy shit the night before the fight.
How much water is 12 pounds of water?
That would be 1.5 gallons. That'd be 12. So a milk jug.
It's
and then another
a gallon and a half of liquid that you're removing from your body. And liquid is very essential to the human body.
Yeah, it is. But that's just, I mean, you could lose more than that. Like I said, my opponent will have to pull about 20 out, which is just under 3 gallons.
But basically, how
damn.
do you do that? You sit in a sauna or something? Because you can't work out because then now you're tiring your body out.
Everybody's got their own tricks and secrets that they do.
Oh, so you don't really talk about how you do it. I
gotcha. It's a big deal. Losing weight is very hard, especially when you've got to be in the ring less than 24 hours later. So how guys do it, they usually keep to themselves. But you could use a sauna. That would be the barbarian way to do it, the prehistoric way. But, I mean, I grew up doing that. That's all we knew.
But there's now better ways.
Yeah,
you
I
just don't want to talk about.
I've seen how some of those things work based on cartoons I watch. There's a big square box, right? And the cartoon character, or whoever it'll be, goes in there, and there's a little hole in top. And they close the door, and the steam goes, psh, and the door's open, and he's like a toothpick, but his head is still the size of his head. And he walks out all like, brr, 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 brr. I've seen it. They could cut a lot of weight, cartoons. Yeah.
It seems like wouldn't it harder to fight the day after you put all that weight on? Like, it just seems like to get into fighting shape, you'd want to be kind of heavy going in. And
it just seems like there's a better way to do that. Because it's got to tire you out a little bit to put your body through that.
Oh, it's exhausting. Yeah, it's a horrible process. Well, what are you going to do? You sign a contract, the contract calls for a weight class. If you say you're going to make weight, you got to make weight, whether it's tiring or not.
Sure. Do guys purposely lose all that weight so they can be heavier on fight day?
Oh, maybe a little bit. I would prefer to be the lighter guy in the ring. There's a huge misconception, dates back to when we were kids on recess and we get beat up. It was easier to go tell your dad the kid that beat you up was bigger. Right. But the truth is, you always want to be the smaller guy. You can move a little better. You're quicker. Mike Tyson was 220 pounds. Muhammad Ali was 198 pounds. They were never one time did either of those guys have a size advantage. So there's a big misconception about that.
Ali was under 200 pounds. That's just unbelievable.
198 when he first won the title.
It's unbelievable. Yep. We've had Tyson here. He's, I wouldn't call him small, but I thought he would be.
I thought you were going to say a nerd. But
fuck.
you were going to size, right?
But I thought he would be. I thought he would be bigger. Didn't you?
In the dark.
Yeah, and he was one time he was really high energy. When he brought his wife was with him the second time, and he was very, very mellow. And yeah, he just seems like he's just at peace now. It's like a really weird. It's kind of nice to see. He's just like a comfortable.
And we're going to go see his one-man show soon.
On next week. He does
Dana White saw that. He said it is excellent.
Yeah.
He saw the debut one. He said it's so funny. You have to say, I bought tickets. I bought 6 tickets. Me and my coaches were going to go to that. He was coming to Portland, and he canceled, and I don't know why. It just happened about a month ago. We were so excited we were going to see that show.
He's
selling up. He's going to Europe. He's selling out Germany, and he's like David Hasselhoff over there.
Yeah.
When you listen to him talk about his life, he talks about it like you're hanging out with him and your friend. It doesn't feel like a scripted thing. He just talks like we're talking right now. It's really, really great. And I've seen it once, and I'm seeing it again with Ope next week. Fucking.
Is it next week already?
Yes, it's the 28th. So it's the night after the fight.
Why did I think it was in May?
So why don't you stay in New York and go?
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
It's at the Beacon Theater here the next night. So do you have any? I mean, obviously you always get a little nervous before a fight, but John Jones, I mean, look, he's just a guy. But he's technically, I think, 16 or 17-0, except for that disqualification. Yep. I mean, he's never been beaten in the ring.
Yeah. Well, nobody's even been close. He is very dominant. He runs through guys. You know, getting ready for him, it's tough to sit down and watch his videos. So all you're doing is watching the guy kick the crap out of somebody. What good's that going to do for you?
Yeah.
But let's just stipulate to the fact that he's very good and fast forward to Saturday night. But, you know, he's got the same problem, though. I've never lost a full minute of fighting. I just fought a guy named Anderson Silva. I kicked this guy's ass for 30 minutes. He gets to jump on me for 30 seconds. And somehow they're coming out and saying that he's a better fighter. So you can raise that guy's hand all you want, but don't make any conception about who kicked whose ass.
Right.
So, you know, that's where we're at. John's going to have the same problem. If he watches my tapes, he's going to see me run over guys. I watch him, he runs over guys. So let's just get it on.
How do you stop the elbows? Because he's got such long arms.
Brutal.
That he throws them like a punch, which is a weird thing.
That move?
Yeah. But it literally comes
But it looks like
a
a punch.
Yeah, it's a weird way of throwing elbows, but it seems like, who the fuck needs to deal with that?
Yeah, you're right. You know, I don't know that you do stop them. I think you just absorb them. I think you just deal with them. You know, there's a lot of moves out there, and, you know, there's some defenses to them, but the bottom line is it's going to hurt. You know, this is a fist fight. We call it a fight for a reason.
You said that, you did a great job as the Ultimate Fighter coach. I watched the whole season this year.
I appreciate that.
And you said something about that. Like, you have to realize when you're walking in the ring, you're going to get hurt. Like, it's going to hurt, and that's part of what we're doing here. Or you said something like,
I don't like that idea.
But it was, you know, hey, look, that's what it is.
Yeah, that is what it is. I mean, it is a fight, and you may have to go to the hospital, but you got to go later. You got to deal.
We get hurt here, but
it's
emotional pain. That's
right.
That we deal with here at Sirius XM
and you
Satellite
dish
Radio.
that out as well,
Yes,
though, I'm sure.
we do.
So.
We know there's a fight every day.
We get hurt.
Come in here. We
get hurt by the Twitter haters.
We're gonna bully people and hurt people. Sure. Right. Yes, our egos are bruised by the management here.
That's the beauty of being a
Twitter.
fan, though, you know. Say what you want.
Right.
Go after a guy. You know, but listen to the show.
Right. Exactly. In the end,
that's
just
the
keep
trade-off. Say whatever you want. Just make sure you tune in.
What was your worst injury? Talking about getting hurt.
I've never had an injury. I've had a lot of owies.
What was your worst owie?
I pulled a guy on my face. In wrestling, there's a 5-point move, but we call it like a suplex type technique. And I grabbed him and I threw him and I scored 5 points, which was very exciting as a young wrestler. But I pulled him right on my face and he crushed my nose, and it was broken. I was embarrassed. I had a date I didn't have very many dates growing up. I had a date that night. My coach grabbed me and he said, "Was it worth it?" And I said, "Yeah, it was worth it."
Nice.
I had blood coming out of my nose. I was only about 16. But,
Oh, my nose.
yeah.
Sorry, something suddenly came up.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't get that bad, though. Or it hasn't for me. I've been lucky.
Did someone just throw a punch at you, too? I'm reading this. I didn't know that. When you were at the Ultimate Fighter, some Brazilian fan tried to punch you?
Yeah. Uriah Faber fought Scott Jorgensen on the finale of The Ultimate Fighter. Highest rated season of all time. Thanks for bringing that up,
great,
by the way. And... some guy, he threw a punch at me, but, you know, it got a little bit heated. In fairness, he wasn't completely at fault. I engaged him. I think a fan should do whatever they want. Like I said, he can't touch you, but I can't touch a fan either, and I didn't. But usually I won't even engage a fan. He got a little rough on me, and I roughed him up back. Generally speaking, you can just keep walking. They yell at you. You just keep walking. I was stopped. We're kind of doing some photos and visiting with fans. I couldn't really leave. So when he started yelling at me, I started yelling at him back. And ultimately, it ended with him throwing a punch. But I really felt bad because they threw him out right before the main event. I know how much those tickets costed. Yeah. So, at the same time, you can't throw a punch. But I forgave him.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, that's what I was saying. I want to tell security. They took him out so fast, I would have said, look, I forgive him. Let him have his seat back.
Right. Of
How
course.
close did he get to landing it?
I don't know. Everybody told me he threw a punch. I didn't see it. I saw the melee and I saw the security grab him, and then everybody goes, "Wow, he tried to punch it," but
Here's what he did. He saw Chael. He tried to show his friends he was trying to punch Chael. If he wanted to punch you,
my God,
he knew
yeah.
better than to land a punch on Chael. So he probably like made security look and then threw it, and they grabbed him.
Sure.
Yeah, he probably didn't want to.
It probably was something like that. You see that sometimes, but either way, he lost his seat right before
That
the main
sucks.
event, and I felt for him.
So this fight,
He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
man.
Chael is a really.
Well, you don't want anyone to get kicked out. You know, the guy
Yeah,
gives
he
up
tried
his
punching
time.
you.
He's paying his hard-earned money.
It would be like,
come
good
on.
for him.
I mean, how much could it have hurt him?
Yeah, what was he
really?
gonna do with it?
Some
Come
guy
on,
I
fucking.
guess.
You're much different now, though. Like at least publicly than before all these other fights. It's definitely a difference in the way you're handling this. We're coming about it.
You know, I just answered the questions that get asked me. I'm fighting a dirtbag like Anderson Silva. I'm going to say, what's going on here? And if I'm fighting a guy like John, and we spent some time together, and I saw another side of him, what can I do? I don't manufacture conflict. I'm not a trash talker. I'm a truth talker. You ask me a question, I'll answer it honestly.
Do you still not like Anderson? Then I guess the dirtbag comment should have tipped you
I
off.
really don't. And here's the thing. Good for him. Anderson Silva, for all of the faults, is a man of his word. If he says he'll show up and fight, he shows up and fights. And he did everything he could do to get out of that fight. He tried to get disqualified at the weigh-ins. He punched me at the weigh-ins with his shoulder.
Jeez.
That wasn't to hurt me. He wanted the commission to step in and call the fight out. He did everything he could do to get thrown out, and they just wanted to disqualify him. During the fight, he tried to get disqualified. He threw a blatantly illegal knee. He doesn't see a disqualification as a law. He just tried to get disqualified. But he still showed up. He did what he said he would do. I accept the outcome of the duel, and he won.
Was there a point during that fight, because the first one you dominated, was there one point where you went, oh shit, because it looked like in round one you were on top of him again, and was there one moment where you're like, oh fuck, there's something just turned here?
Well, I wish I would have fallen down.
Yeah.
That was really the whole thing. I got to read the reports about, like Anderson knocked me down. I fell down.
Yeah.
Come on, get out of here. This guy's a dork.
Will you guys fight again?
I would sure like to, but I can't see us crossing paths.
For a while, huh?
It could happen. I'm going to win the title on Saturday. He's going to lose his title on the beginning of July to New York's own Chris Weidman. So, yeah, if he's looking for a title, he can come after mine.
Do you want to stay at light heavyweight?
Yeah. I don't want to cut back to 185. I will go back to 185 if I needed to, but I don't want to. I never wanted to be at that weight class.
You always wanted to be this?
I always want to be at 205, but that's where the contract came in at.
But it's weird, like, because these guys, you always think, like you said, you always think heavier fighters are much, like Cain Velasquez. It was like,
Oh, my God, remember that.
who would want to fucking fight that guy? I mean, what is he, 220?
Yeah, he's a little more. He's about 240.
I would say.
But he's still undersized. It comes back to my original point. He's fighting guys that are 260 and 265 and guys like Brock Lesnar. But, yeah, Cain's a force, man. He's not going anywhere anytime soon.
And yeah, Brock's a good example of a guy where you're right. Like, he was the giant, heavy
Yeah, that's
guy.
true.
And when you saw it, like, he looked unbeatable. And then once you saw Cain or pound on him, you're like, wow, he's really beatable, like, by guys in that world. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is. He transferred into it. I mean, Brock's always had a huge level of success for not having any talent. He was an NCAA champion in wrestling. Couldn't wrestle a lick, but he was strong as an ox. You couldn't score on him. Couldn't get him out of position. He was just too big and strong. And, he'd go on and win a UFC title. I think he'll go in the Hall of Fame someday and deserves to be there.
So when you're fighting a guy who you know is bigger than you or who might be stronger, your goal is to what? Just get on top of him and fucking just wear him out?
It could be. I don't know. Do you mean me personally? I like to be on top of guys, but there's other positions, and you got to be able to compete in all of them. You can't count on any position. They say 80% of fights go to the ground, but 100% start standing up, and it's true.
So if you got a guy like Jones who's a striker, but he can also wrestle too, it's like, I guess, Tyson said something about everyone has a game plan until they get hit in the mouth.
Yeah.
And is that kind of the truth with fighters? Like, your game plan might go out the...
Yeah. It is. Yeah, my skills are my skills, and they developed, starting when I was 9 years old. The techniques that I was scoring with then are the techniques I scored with through high school and college and now. And, yeah, they do change and evolve, or you'll pick some new stuff up here and there, but it's very hard. You've got these plans, and he's going to step here, and you're going to, once you get hit, you just start.
That's it.
Yeah, then you
Throw everything
You
away.
put your chin down and start fighting. You figure out who's tougher than who.
Were you always a tough kid? growing up?
I wasn't like a bully by any means, but I always was involved in tough. I grew up in the country, so it's just tough. It's a different way of life. There's animals that need taken care of. It means you got to get up and you're working before school starts. And I didn't have any friends. We didn't have. We lived in the middle of nowhere, so we didn't do anything. I had a wrestling.
Well, you
converted our garage to a wrestling room, and
you got a great personality considering you didn't hang out around people.
Well, I appreciate that.
No, I'm serious.
You have an eye for talent.
Probably why.
That's good.
It's probably why people are assholes.
Yeah.
Hang around with too many of them, you get all fucking like me, miserable, sarcastic, fucking cynical.
Frightened. That's the word you're leaving out. Frightened.
I can't imagine taking care of animals. What animals?
Horses and cows.
Oh, yeah, the farm variety, obviously.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Of course, dogs and cats, too. But
Probably wrestled a horse or two in your day, too. Just
felt like I did. Boy, a horse is a dumb animal. You know,
really?
You compare it to a dog or something that's very intelligent. A horse is a very dumb animal, and it's as strong as a horse.
Oh, yeah.
So, when it decides to create problems, it's a big problem.
Right.
Isn't that just like fucking life? Like the horses are dumb, but they're in great shape and they have giant dicks. Like that's just the way life is. Fucking. Like God gives you what a little piece to everybody. You know what I mean? Did you like coaching more than you thought you would, or did you? Because you were fucking really good at it. Man.
I appreciate that. I mean, it was the best experience I've ever had in the sport, and I've got to be on all sides of the sport, and I love it. But that was definitely my crowning moment, crowning experience. But I was surrounded by such good guys. Again, Uriah Hall, who's right here from New York, Jimmy Quinlan, who's out here. All of the guys. I mentioned those guys because they're your local guys. But man, it was just awesome. And even the guys that Coach Jones coached. They were great guys, too.
But they were both your guys in the final, right?
Both of my guys ended up competing in the finals against each other, yeah. But Dana brought everybody to the UFC. That's what the whole show is about. You fight so one guy gets a contract. Every one of these guys was so tough, Dana gave all 16 a contract that's only been done one other time.
Come on.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think of the two coaches, you were the better coach. And it's not to shit on Jones, but I watched the things that you guys would yell in the ring. And Jones was, again, sincere, but he was giving more like, hey, man, this is your moment. Do the best you can, or this is what you've waited for. But you seem to be giving more practical advice.
From a technical, yeah.
Yeah, like, work it, make it. You just kept saying all these little things that, if you're the other fighter, you're like,
instead of inspirations.
Yeah, it was like more practical shit. Like,
yeah, I appreciate that. He's a real natural fighter. Sometimes you'll have that, a natural athlete. But, boy, being a natural coach is a tough thing. I've coached kids for 10 or 11 years. I have the best coaches. I've always had the best coaches, just been lucky that way. And, so I just steal from those guys, same as anybody does. Just remember stuff they did or said and reparroted it out back to the guys.
I always wonder when coaches are yelling at you when you're fighting, isn't it embarrassing that everyone hears them telling you what to do? Because if I'm in the gym and Kenny comes over and goes, "You put your arms out straight," I'm like, ugh.
Because he's nude when he says it. How embarrassing.
It is, though. You know what? It is. In a quiet gym, yeah, it is. You hear and everybody hears you, and it's a little bit different feel.
Yeah, lift the leg, and you're like, all right. I mean, you don't want to lift the leg, but the other guy hears it. Do you guys ever listen to the advice the coach is yelling at the other guy and use that? Because it seems like it's not a secret.
No. I find that funny that you think people hearing you would be. That's what you do all day.
I know.
Is you talk, people hear you.
Which means I should be embarrassed.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's hilarious that would be the observation you make, though.
That always struck me in the ring. Is that God? I would be so embarrassed hearing somebody like not even getting beaten up, but just hearing people.
Will you go into coaching? Will you go into coaching after your fight days?
I won't. I mean, I coach kids wrestling. I'll keep coaching the kids, but no, I don't want to.
You'll probably be a broadcaster. You do pretty good with that as well.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's fun. Thanks for saying that. But I do.
We're just complimenting the hell out of you today.
Yeah, you guys are nice today.
I know. I don't like this.
I wasn't ready for this.
I don't like this.
What's your relationship with Dana now? You guys have a good relationship?
Yeah, Dana's awesome.
We love him.
Yeah, everyone loves him.
He's
Dana, very hard to not like. He's generous to a fault. He needs to stop. He's going to give it all away if he's not careful. And he works harder than anyone I know. He has something. A doctor explained this to me. I can't remember what it's called, but he has something only 1% of the population of Earth has, where he only needs between 1 and 3 hours a night of sleep
he's one of those
to
guys.
fully function. He doesn't run on coffee like I do, or well, you, for example.
I'm a terrible sleeper, yeah.
Or kale and broccoli like you.
I'm a horrible
But,
sleeper.
Yeah, he just is up and going. And so, if you work for him, it's tough. We all take our cues from the boss. And when your boss works every single day, all day, it makes for a tough industry.
Oh, what is he fucking holding down? What's he keeping fucking tamped down in his fucking emotional psyche?
You
that
think
he's
there's
got
something
to
in
work
it?
constantly, can't sleep.
Dana?
Yeah. He lays down in bed and starts thinking, I gotta get up and do something. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, and he led a pretty normal life. He'd go out, have a good time or something. And somewhere in his 20s, he said, I quit drinking and I started thinking. And that's what he said. Yeah, kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people could relate to that or need to relate to that, maybe.
Yes.
But that was it. He just focuses on business.
Can you sleep good? Are you good? I'm horrible. Like, I can't fall asleep, and then when I do, I can't stay asleep. And I'm like, how do athletes, like, when you got to train for 5 hours or if we got to fight, like, what do you do when you're having a night like I'm having, where I'm just laying there wide awake and panic stricken?
You want to know something? You want to know what makes me tired is knowing I got to go fight or knowing I got to go to practice. So I will lay in bed. I have the same problem. I can't sleep either. And I'll tell myself, all right, if you're up at 2, it'll be 1:45. If you're up at 2, you got to get up and go run 5 miles.
Oh, wow.
Shut me out like a light. And if it doesn't, I got to get up and run. But I'm telling you, I've had to run less than 5 times.
That's
in
some
5
fucking
years. It
discipline
puts
right
me
there.
out.
That's crazy discipline.
Oh, my.
Especially if you're still up and you're like, all right, I'll give you 5 more minutes. But that's it. Right. Me.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Anyone can make that deal with themselves, but to actually do it, all right, 2 a.m., I got to run my 5 miles.
I made the same deal, but if you're not asleep by 2, you're going to jerk off and then be awake for longer. That's the deal I make. I think I purposely stay up.
And you thought that I would be embarrassed at yelling instructions and having people hear me.
But he'll just blurt that out for everybody here.
But I don't understand how you, like, because I'm such a poor sleeper, I can't imagine having to fucking get up and do something athletic. Like, I have a trainer now, I mean, obviously. And I was dreading seeing her. I've only been to 4 sessions. And dreading
I'm sure
Monday.
the feeling was likewise.
Wait a minute. Her?
Yeah, I have a female trainer. Because I like to talk to her in between. I don't want to talk to a guy in between my...
Your coach is a woman?
No, it's not a coach. No,
man.
it's not a coach.
I mean, that's very big of you. I'm not judging. You don't hear that a lot.
Well, it's just a trainer at the gym I go to. It's not
What are you doing, the Jane Fonda workout?
Yeah, I am, actually.
I don't know if Jimmy's being completely honest
aerobic
either. He picked his trainer because she's,
Gotcha.
She's lovely.
She's really
I
hot.
put that together.
Yeah, okay, all right.
But it's just like, it's
But
like,
I mean, he's still getting good workouts, but he did pick her. I mean, because we have beasts in our gym that he could have easily picked and had a good workout with.
I'd
He's
rather
like,
talk...
no, she looks like she's talking about.
Yeah, I'm wearing a
I
fucking
think she can
headband.
get me to where I want to go.
Let's get physical.
Yeah, I have like fucking 80s fluorescent colors on, clapping in between each one.
But we have trainers, like we have one, she's an old lady out of shape. We have another guy that has a beer belly. I'm like, who would take beer belly guy if you're trying to get in shape?
Sure.
I don't understand that.
Yeah. Most aerobics instructors are overweight. It's been my experience. I've only seen a few in my life, but they usually are. They still work hard. They still come in and
They just can't
sweat
keep
all
that
over the
weight
floor.
off, huh?
It's an excuse after they work out to eat more, I guess.
I don't know what it is.
It's like, hey, I worked out. I could fucking pound that down.
Sure.
Yeah. I got big muscle-headed fucking ex-cop as a trainer guy. I don't mind. It's not embarrassing.
See, the problem is, like, because I'm a trainer like you, it's like I'm just doing, like, 3, like, a little bit of what do they call it, circuit training, whatever, and I stop for a few minutes just to catch my breath. And it's like, I don't want to talk to a guy.
And what do you talk about? Fucking Days of Our Lives? What do you do? General Hospital in between?
Yeah, we kind of
tampons.
Yeah, we just kind of bond over the fact that our biological clocks are ticking. No, but it's like I don't want to. I like female energy like that. Like I don't want to talk to I talk to guys all day, so it's nice to have a woman to talk to.
You're not
for a
really
couple minutes.
chit-chatting much.
No, we are in between. But
Chit-chat.
Her hot ass motivates you
oh my god,
to do a couple extra reps,
it really
right?
does. It's hard. It's hard not to.
He's out of his mind.
'Cause it's embarrassing to look bad in front of a woman. I don't care if a guy, like, this guys in our gym that are really, fucking jacked, and it's like, I don't care if I look bad in front of them.
And now his trainer's out of town, so he went and found the second hottest trainer to train him.
For a
couple days.
It makes me want to fucking get in better shape.
Sure. Jimmy rules.
Well, good for you. If it's motivating you, good for you.
My abs are kind of hard, though. It's kind of hard to get the last bit of fucking blubber off the abs, and I got a few more pounds to go.
Jimmy lost 25 pounds.
Good job.
Almost 30, but it doesn't matter.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
good for you.
One too many fucking self-hatred.
What's your goal? Are you getting a couple more off?
No, I don't care about the weight. I just want to. It's like to just honestly to not stand in the mirror and go, ugh, fucking pig.
I get that. I understand that answer.
You get that too. Really?
I think as all humans, but we do that. It's the mirror test.
Wow.
I hate when because a girl will do that a lot about what she weighs. Like, young lady, it doesn't matter what you weigh. You're either fat or you're not. You're either overweight or you're not. And it's great if you weigh 170 if you're 6'2" or whatever. I'm not trying to put a cap on women here, but I think you guys understand my point. It's like, women do the same thing with the mustache, where they bleach the mustache. It's like, young lady, I don't care what color the hair is. Get rid of it.
Yes.
It's still a mustache. Is a mustache.
Yes.
There's these estheticians that have fooled women into bleaching it.
Yeah.
Well, I care if it's
Great.
blonde.
Now you got a Martin Mull mustache
thing.
instead of the Magnum PI.
Yeah, exactly. Amongst the strangest things that sell in America is the bleached upper lip.
I love how he says young lady.
Young lady.
A young lady.
Get rid of it.
Women like that too. If you're dominating a girl, like if a girl likes to be spanked, they love to be referred to as young lady.
Yeah,
that's the way. That's the proper discipline. That's
is it?
Yeah, that was young ladies. They like that shit. Yeah. You don't call them like little girl or bad girl. Bad girl is fucking over. That's 1980.
Yeah.
Fucking
young lady.
Discipliner. Call a young lady. Spanker.
I like that.
Very good.
Spanker.
Yeah, that's good. But as far as the mustache hair is concerned, I don't care for it, and I don't like the pussy hair either. Although I got a bit more of a fetish for it recently. But
Chael didn't ask.
No, I'm just saying. He just tapped into
Jimmy's
something.
just throwing it out there, right?
Tapped into something. That's what he just said. He tapped into something.
He didn't ask. How do you feel about hairy assholes? You all right with that?
Nah, that's not my thing. I just don't like body.
Does your mother listen to this show?
Oh yeah, she'll actually text in ideas. She's like, you forgot the pussy hair story. I'm like,
Are you getting a little fetishy with that?
no, there was one girl I liked who was very hairy armpits. And she's a fetish model. She does.
Chael, tell him. That's brutal, right? Hairy arms?
Yeah.
Armpits?
Yeah, that's
rough.
It is.
That's weird.
Absolutely. But
That's a rough one.
This one girl, she was a porn girl, and I got so into her. Just something about her drove me fucking crazy. So I kind of began watching her movies, but I don't think I'd want it in my life. Like, I don't think I can handle dealing with that all the time.
Yeah.
But, like, watching it. Or
With
maybe
the hairy armpits? Are we still on that topic?
Or the hair.
I got distracted. There was a lot going on there for a minute.
No, I kind of like when a girl is at that state where they haven't shaved down there in a while. It's a little fucking, it's getting a little, it's growing in a little.
What, like a 5 o'clock shadow?
Let's who you're with. It's like, that's good. The whole completely shaved down thing, it's just been out there too long at this point.
Wow, this is breaking news.
Switch it up.
This is breaking news with you.
No, I've always liked a little bit of fucking, little bit of hair down there.
You don't want a full bush. You want her to look like she just got out of a holding cell for like 2 weeks. she couldn't fucking crimp and get ready for 2 weeks.
I have a feeling you're going to have a different interview with ESPN, Chael.
I want the George Michael
I hope I remember.
beard.
I hope I turn off and know that I'm on ESPN.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to ask you about hairy pussy.
What is the, by the way, is there a myth about, who was it, said it's a myth about sex before fights that you're not supposed to, and what Mickey always said in Rocky, women weaken legs. Is there does that have anything to do with it, or you could care less about that?
I don't have the foggiest idea. Yeah, you'd have to ask somebody else.
That's not but that's not a fucking, sex is not a fucking, doesn't kill a fight for you weak of them.
I would not know, but I don't. Let's move on. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Just seemed like,
Seems like
I
it would
bet
touch you out.
if you believe that, it'll probably psychologically fuck you up more than physically.
Yeah, there you go. With anything.
Just don't fuck. Yeah, if you think it's going to take some power away from your legs and stuff, then it might.
Sugar Ray Leonard was on. He told a story about having sex.
That guy could fight.
It was great.
We almost had him crying.
Yeah, he
He had a
was
fucking
good.
He had a fucking tough life growing up.
Really?
Yeah. What was
He
he?
didn't start boxing until 14.
Really?
Won Olympic gold medal just a few years later.
Wow.
Started at 14. That's incredible.
His mentor kind of did something sexual with him or hit on him. He wrote about it in his book, and he got very emotional talking about it because he kind of felt, I think we mentioned the betrayal or something, and he just it just kind of hit him. Like I think that word got to him.
Oh wow, yeah.
That maybe that was just a kind of a crystal.
Wow.
But
that's very unfortunate.
Yeah,
that he dealt with that.
But he was talking about something along the lines of sex during the week of fighting, and he said Ali asked him about it. And what's the closest you ever fucked? Like it was some brutal question Ali asked him, and he's like, the night before, and he said Ali was blown away and just told him like you're a bad dude. Like Ali respected the fact that he could do that. Yeah, he told the guy about Muhammad Ali fucking just.
Sugar Ray was great on our show. Man. He was a down to earth guy.
I love all fighters.
Really?
Fuck yeah,
That's
he was
good to
so
hear.
cool.
They're all nice.
Most of the athletes that come in here are really nice. We haven't had too many problems.
Very special. Very special talent.
Yeah.
Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, inspiring battles he's had.
Yeah,
Dog tired and then throw 10 more punches.
And what was
exhausted.
when his eye was messed up? Who did he fight? Did he fight Durant again when his eye? He had a bad. He wasn't supposed to fight because of
The
his
detached retina, right?
Yeah, he had a retina injury.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah.
And I think he was supposed to not fight
Terry
again.
Norris?
Oh, I don't even
Norris
know.
fight?
Shit, I'd have to look it up. I don't know offhand.
But there's always that one fight too many. Like there's always like when you look at Ali and how great he was, and you're like, he fought Holmes, and I think it was Trevor Berbick.
Yeah.
Like there's always, but you don't really see that with you guys. For some reason, I think UFC guys have a longer shelf life because even though you're getting hit with smaller gloves, you're not taking it for 40 minutes.
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
And half of the fight is having is grappling and.
Sure. Well, if we go down, they stop the fight.
Right.
You know, not just on a knockdown, but what I'm saying is, in boxing, they'll knock you down, they'll bring you back up, dust you off, and make you go back out there.
Yeah.
Do you ever think
That's hard.
When a guy's on the ground and the one guy will jump on? There's a famous Henderson.
Yeah.
When he knocked out
Michael Bisping.
Yeah. Is it, as a fighter, when you see a guy down like that, is it just you're in the fight and you're not thinking, or do you ever see him? Because they showed a guy back off recently too. Like you could see he was ready to. It was I think on the Uriah Faber that night.
On that card, okay.
And there was somebody who was ready to pounce on the next guy, and he just didn't because I think he saw that he was out.
Yeah, most guys are trained that you go until the referee steps in every sport. That you shoot that final basket until the referee. Don't go off the horn. Go off the referee touching you and saying stop.
Right.
Yeah, don't assume. So most guys are trained to do that, or they could have some problems with their coaches. But at the same time, yes, if a guy is out and you know that, I mean, that's a different scenario. I've never been in that, but I wouldn't take a shot at a guy just to take it.
Right. I always wondered. I don't even think they're being vindictive. I just think in the heat of battle, it's like you just. I mean, again, I wouldn't know. I've not fight since.
It just looks brutal sometimes, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. And that's the
Wow.
bad side of it. I mean, that's sport that does happen. You see these car wrecks in NASCAR and other things like that.
Right.
That's an unintended consequence, but it does happen.
But I've never seen a guy even get really hurt from that because again, they're all okay. You never hear about fighters going out for long periods of time. It's just, I think boxing is so much more dangerous, and it drives me nuts that this is like one state where you can't. It's always about the unions. I mean, Dan.
Oh, yeah, it has nothing to do with this bullshit. Well, the violence. Shut up.
It's ridiculous at this point.
Nothing to do with that.
UFC, I should say, has proven itself.
Yeah, they've put in
Really
all
has.
these regulations and all these things. Like, is that what the elbow thing is about? You think just so they make sure that it's it's a little bit safer?
Yeah, well, and the elbow thing was kind of ridiculous. You'll see these fake videos of martial arts all the time, of karate or something. You'll see some 80-year-old guy and he comes and he breaks the fake brick with his elbow. So a commission saw that and banned this. Now I can do this elbow. I can do this elbow. I just can't do what they call the 12 to 6, straight up to straight down. But yeah, as far as legalizing it in New York, it'd be a very hard argument if the politicians told the truth. If they came out and go, look, you got a problem in Nevada. It's with the culinary union. We take big dollars for them. Seal that problem up and come back to us. If they came out that blatant, boy, that'd be hard for us. But when they lie, it makes it real easy. When they come out and they talk about violence and they talk about, regulation or these things that just aren't real, well, now you've got a debate. If you guys told the truth, you'd kind of stop us in our tracks.
You're trying to say the politicians lied? That's crazy.
Yeah, if they would just be
They don't
candid
lie.
and come out and go, listen, we're just not going to do it, and here's why. Oh, all right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it would. That would be the best argument they could do, is to just be candid and go, look, seal this problem up. You've got Nevada. Come
Enough
back to us
already,
later.
though.
Yeah,
Enough.
it's very frustrating. It's embarrassing as a New Yorker, because the fight with Chael and John is right over the river. It's literally 15 minutes from New York in Newark. Let me promote that again. It's 1:59. It's obviously on pay-per-view if you're not here, but it's the Prudential Center, which is a great, fairly new facility. And truth be told, it's much nicer than the Garden. So if you're going to go, I mean, that's where you should probably go see it. And it's 7 o'clock this Saturday. You can go to Ticketmaster.com if there's tickets available.
There's less than 700 as of this morning, so you'd better hurry.
And you can also watch the 4 preliminary bouts for free when you like the UFC Facebook page. UFC is genius because they show all these free fights and then go to the it's like a tremendous dick tease that it makes you want to stick around and watch.
Right.
Boxing just doesn't do any of that shit.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, the UFC, they understand it.
Fan friendly.
Yeah, they are. They're fan friendly. It's an experience. Important. It's a whole event.
Yeah, we're being told.
They're telling. E-Rock is telling. E-Rock, can you say that out loud so he doesn't think that we're actually saying that?
No, he has to go. He has another interview. He has to.
Is E-Rock telling me to beat it?
Yes, he is.
Is that happening? All right, gentlemen.
We would love if you threw him through a window.
Where does he have to go?
Nice talking with you guys.
Not yet. Where does he have to go?
There's a boxing show or something.
A boxing show. Okay.
That's interviewing him as well.
Yeah, there is a boxing channel.
So I go from America's biggest show to one that nobody's listening to. Wonderful. Well, that's a great.
That's a good.
That's why I love this guy.
PR department.
I loved you for the first second he sat in here last time.
Jesus.
Chael fucking just.
So what do we do?
Is an honest. You're so honest, man. And we have to pick Chael over John because John didn't show up today.
I want to see.
Sorry.
Chael. I really do want to see Chael win, and I'm not saying it just because you're here. It's like I like John. We've had him on. He's a really nice guy, but. I mean, you're I guess, considered the underdog, at least because he's bigger and he's the champion. But I like you more. Like, John, nice dude, but I don't think he likes me very much for some reason.
Really?
Is that right?
I don't know why.
Well, you're a very likable guy. That surprises me.
Really?
And that really is how shallow and empty I am as a man, that whoever's nicer to me, I just
John doesn't like mornings very well. Maybe you just had him on in the morning, and he's still a little groggy-eyed.
Well, he was supposed to be with you today, but I don't know.
They say he's coming in at noon, but I'm wondering if
the schedule changed or something.
Yeah, I'm hoping he doesn't want to not do the show. We've had him on like 5 times.
But I think it's better that you guys are separated now anyway.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. When you're sitting down with a guy, I think it's a little bit weird. I've never liked doing that. Right. And then in this case, we ended up hitting it off. Well, what good is that?
I don't think you've had a fight like this where you just hit it off with the guy before the fight.
Well, and you know what, though? With the set of The Ultimate Fighter, you're going to be around him constantly, every single day. So what are you going to do? We're in a society. You got to be civil. You can't just walk around with a chip on your shoulder all the time. And that's really what happened. But it is a little bit weird. I'm glad that you said that. I've had to do that with. I was on ESPN with him, and they do it yesterday. So they sent this 120-pound girl in between the two of us. Fortunately, there's not an issue there, but if there was, she's serving as the buffer. Come on.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because you look at Tito and Liddell didn't like each other through that whole thing. I mean, that didn't certainly make that relationship terrific. So it's not guaranteed you're going to like each other. But I thought when I first heard that, I'm like, and this was just my opinion, that you really freak guys out because you go after them in ways that they're not used to going after. And you're better at it than anybody when you want to be. And I think that there's certain guys that have a hard time handling that. It's almost like really, really handsome guys that don't like being made fun of, like in school. So I'm like, I bet you that freaks John Jones out a lot.
A little bit. Guys don't like being called out. And most guys, they won't call anyone out. And you got to understand, we're in America. You're not going to get anything in this country you don't ask for. Help Dana White with his job. He's a busy guy. Tell him who you want to fight. Don't make him figure it out. Tell him.
Wow.
And, I'll stick my finger in a guy's chest. I don't promote fights. I pick fights.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I do. Sometimes people act like I should give apologies. I'm in the fight business. I'm a fighter. I pick fights, and then I go get in them. What do you want me to do about that?
Fighter. Oh, wait, yeah, I'll do that one. Hold on. There we go.
A governor, a fighter. I'll show you things that'll blow your mind.
That's beautiful. That's good work by you,
Jesse.
I'll tweet that. Chael. What are you on Twitter?
Sonnen. I always mess it up. It's Sonnen. Sonnech. It's Sonnen.
I think there's another N in there too.
There is.
All right, so it's S-O-N.
It's not his fault though. There's a lot of N's. Sonnenench.
Yeah. All right. I'll tweet that picture.
Right. Yeah, it's Sonnen.
Good luck Saturday.
Wait, should we ask Chael? I don't know. I haven't. You're one of my favorite guys, and I've never. Normally, what we do when we have fighters come in is I ask them to show up to do not a full move.
John Jones has done a couple.
John Jones, Fedor, they've all done something where they show me a move. I don't fucking fight back, but I want to see what certain things feel like.
He's had a quick choke, like that. He's had an arm bar, right?
Everything. Brock did heel hooks on me, which really fucking hurt. But I tap quick. Ow. Yeah, I tap very fast.
He taps
I'm
like
not fucking brave. But in fight week is always scary for me as a fighter because you guys are in fucking a different mode than you are like a week after the fight. But what move would you do on me that you think might hurt a little bit, but I would live through?
Oh, all right. I'll show you one real fast. Oh, by the way, I just got a text message. When I first told you that tickets were on sale, we had 700. Since I made that announcement, we've got just under 600. They're moving fast. Well, apparently, people are listening to your show, but they asked me to mention that on the air. You know, here's a very practical move. It's not a great one, but this is very practical.
He's grabbing my right arm.
Somebody's going to grab you like this. They might grab your shirt or something.
I had my hand on his chest.
But this is a very realistic where they might grab your shirt. I just want to grab over by the pinky is all I'm going to do.
Oh, yeah, and he's just twisting my arm backwards.
I'm sorry about that. But
no, that's okay. Fair enough.
And another one is the push. This will start a fight a lot too.
If I push Chael's chest, yeah.
I'm just going to hold him to my chest, block out his elbow,
and
break his wrist by bending down. Now, those are very realistic moves. Get the guy in a choke and stuff. That's more of like sport type fighting. That's something you may encounter in the street. The guy comes out and shoves you. You snap his arm and go about your day.
Wow.
Now the chokes are really. What would you say is your best choke? Like, what's the most effective?
The rear naked choke, and I have no idea why they call it that. It's the sleeper hold. It's always been called the sleeper hold. The cops used to use it. The military uses it. Some goofballs now rename this the rear naked choke. But essentially, you get behind the guy and you strangle him.
Simple enough.
It's simple enough.
Why are you asking, Jimmy?
Because I was just saying, that was one I've had that's really unpleasant. I didn't like Randy Couture did the fucking fingers on the throat, which really fucking hurt a lot.
Randy's a dangerous dude.
Yeah, he really is. And he's a guy like you. He just can't be backed off. He's just not afraid. But I would like to maybe take a choke or a punch, whichever you would like to give me, but in the arm, whatever you wish.
Well, I would much rather choke you. I don't.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
Give him a little choke.
Okay, and I'm going to tap very fast.
This would be the sleeper hold that we referred to. It would be tight,
little
and then
pressure.
all I have to do is really start.
Okay, hold on. No, don't be sorry. It's okay. Let's see how long I can take it for. Just a couple seconds.
All right. I can't see him, so. All right.
He goes.
Sound effects and all. That was pretty good.
Yeah, but that's not on purpose. That's fucking.
No.
Yeah. Fuck.
You would
What do
just
we do now? I feel like he has been trying to kick me out for about 5 minutes.
No,
Is this where I go?
That's your guys.
You gotta go
what
to that
happens is your guys say
boxing.
our guys,
You gotta go to the boxing
and our
channel.
guys tells us. We never kick you out.
No,
but
Chael,
they
never.
always tell us because we notoriously will go over on interviews, and then the publicists get mad. They're like, they go to the press and you're hogging.
Because the boxing channel's going, we have nothing. We don't know what to talk about.
kind of what's
We're only allowed to talk
Yeah.
about boxing.
Boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what it is.
I'm going to get a text from Dana going, why did you leave that show? Everyone listens to that
For
show.
the boxing channel.
All right, Chael, let's get you out of here.
Had it.
Chael
I've had it
Sonnen.
with